Hello, everyone. Welcome to our new format of monthly conversation with experts titled Inside T24 Performance Engineering. Today is our first session, and we talked about COB monitoring. I'm really glad to see a lot of people here, especially from Performetrics community. So, my name is Andrew, and I will be your host. These sessions are meant to be interactive and practical. So COB is something we all deal with, whether we are monitoring it, troubleshooting it at midnight, optimizing it, or explaining delays to the business. It is critical part of how Temenos T24 keep the bank running smoothly day after day. This won't be a formal lecture, it is more a conversation. We'll be discussing real challenges, best practices, common pain points, and practical tips you can apply in your own environments. Together with me, I have our T24 expert Rakesh, who will share insights from hands-on experience with COB monitoring, performance tuning, and issue resolution. So please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A section as we go. So with that, let's get started and let's talk about the COB. So welcome, Rakesh. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Rakesh Nanjareddy from India. I'm a T24 technical analyst. I'm associated with Performetrics for a long time, and I have around 9 years of experience in T24. And I worked on almost 25 projects till now as a developer, tester, COB support analyst, as a lead, as a team member, but not most of the projects. So, and yeah, in this interactive session, we will be speaking about the close of business.
hmm
Yeah, I'll hand it over to Andrew to
Okay,
quickly start.
okay. So maybe we can start with that. For those who are newer to T24, how would you describe COB monitoring in the simple terms, and why it is so critical in day-to-day banking operations?
Okay, let me go back to 1960s, 70s, even before that, where the computer was not introduced. You go to the bank, pay money, deposit it in your account, or you pay a check, or you ask for the amount. And at the end of the day, what happens? They will have this ledger or a book where they make all these entries clearly. That's in a branch. Then they'll send it over to the lead of that a particular branch, head office, and then they'll again consolidate everything. So it's a kind of complicated process at that time. It's the same thing we are doing. We do the transactions, we do the funds transfer, we deposit money, we take loan of all
Mm-hmm.
everything, and we also instruct bank to process the money on particular days. So all these will be handled during the COP. Once the bank is closed, they will run this close of business. It has almost 5 stages. Let me quickly explain. Application stage where all these applications like funds transfers, all those
Okay.
will be processed on that day. And then system-wide stage where the accrued interest, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you will be getting interest on 30th or 1st of every month from the fixed deposit. And the accrued is nothing but today is 26th, 25th, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Until this day, what's the interest accrued till now? And the
Okay.
30th, again, it will be converted to due.
Mm.
Same reporting, all these extracts and inquiry reports, all those things we'll be doing. Date change the next phase, and then uh, simply other reports like in the online stage where
Mm-hmm.
it's not critical reports will be extracted. So all these we will be handling through the cup that mostly will be started by 6 p.m. and it has to end by
Mm-hmm.
10. That's the target every bank keeps even before that. So
Oh
everything
yeah.
what you do will be covered during the cup.
That's great. We had a lot of experience that, for example, the banks struggle to finish COB under 12 hours, and basically that's mean that they cannot open the bank at the regular hour. So I think we saw these examples before, and this is like not a good experience to be an COB operator for 12 hours, I guess.
Yes, it is difficult. In case if the cup is taking more time, yeah, bank has to sit, priority issue ticket, who is handling, will be sitting for waiting for the prior tickets that has to be
Oh,
reserved before the next morning. So yeah, it is a trouble in case if the duration is huge, but if
yeah,
it is less, it's easy going for them.
yeah. So from your experience, what are the most common issues teams face during COB in Temenos T24?
Okay, the main issue they face is this increase in timing. They will say curve is running for the long time, long duration, and sometimes uh, the issue will be much simpler. Whenever you get an error, if you won't resolve that error, the cup won't proceed forward. You'll have to resolve it immediately. So you will have to know where you will have to check before running the curve or just during the curve is being run. So
Mm,
those things will be logged in EB, ODR, something and all. There are linked applications where you get everything. You'll have to know where
okay,
exactly it is, what is happening, and then you'll have to go ahead.
okay, that's cool. So yeah, maybe you can show us some stuff regarding COB.
Okay. Let me quickly share my screen and on the high level, let me
Okay.
share a few details. So this carb, yeah, it is time critical because every day it has to be run, and the weekends, yes, a lot of other activities will be added, mostly on Friday. And month-end carb, few more activities will be added that will take more time. Year
Mm-hmm.
end, it's the same. So that has to be run every day, every working day. I mean to say, bank working day. Holidays can be defined and CUP can be skipped on those days, but other days they'll have to run. And this CUP data varies. This data is nothing but depending on the organizations and depending on the global standard rules for PSD2 FX or some other internal country rules. They will have their own model bank setups, their own interface, all those things. So the number of jobs which we run in Curve will vary
Mm-hmm.
bank by bank, country by country, all those. And mostly after the COB is run, we will get some of the reports like GL, transaction journal reports, all those things that we'll extract every day to compare and check whether we are on track in the bank, all those things.
Rakesh,
And
I
so
have one sorry for interruption. I have one theoretical question. What will happen when, for example, a bank didn't run COB in the one day and they will continue with the operation of the next day without the COB?
okay, whatever the transactions which they do on that particular day will be
Mm-hmm.
logged to the previous days. So value date will be previous day.
Mm,
So that will be a miss. Even if you miss one day, one particular day's interest, like I said, accrual or all those things, there will be a huge mismatch in
mm-hmm.
the data. You'll have to again check on all those things, correct them, and then you'll have to run a cup again. So you can't miss it. You can't miss it. So
Mm.
that's
Yeah,
the beauty, and that's a trouble as well. So,
exactly. That's a trouble. Yeah.
and yeah, in these reportings, yeah, we will get clearly and the details of the transactions which are being processed. And sometimes we ask bank to post transactions next month 15th. So that CUB will pick it up and then process it accordingly in some of the stages like that. So all those are clearly so like you said, if the COB is not being run on that particular day, the instructions standard order which was designed on that day won't be happening and customer won't be getting the money. So that's just an
Yeah, it
example.
will be a mess.
Yes, a lot of mess. And sometimes penalties, charges, all those things, many things will be missed and it will be a complete mess.
Yeah, that's for
And
sure.
yeah, like you mentioned, how should we analyze this? What
Hmm.
is happening when the cub is stuck, a cub is not being run? Yeah, I'll explain it in the next slide clearly.
Okay.
In a traditional way, how a cub operator checks that and how we adopted it in our T24 fastback services through Dynatrace
Hmm.
to clearly check what is happening. And we have also categorized them in a few formats like technical, functional, all those things. And we analyze what is happening. We find out what is happening. That's the first part. we analyze and find out what is happening, and then we'll think about resolving them. So that's what monitoring is for the COB from our side. Let me go to the next slide. So yeah, this one is this diagram. You can think about everyone could have gone
Mm-hmm.
through this slide different way. There's T24 service, TSM service manager, agent, job list. What are all these? How these are all
Mm-hmm.
interlinked? Let me explain this.
Okay.
Let me explain this based on a construction working going on. So suppose I'm constructing a house. Imagine I will allocate a manager, kind of a company who construction company who takes care of the activity, and that particular manager will assign this task to some of the people, like 10 people or 3 people on that particular day. And then he tells those 10 people to do different jobs. So this each people will do a particular job during that day. And for each
Mm-hmm.
people, what job they need to do, what they'll have to do. So overall, what they'll have to construct a wall. That's uh, requirement. And each person, what they'll have, and the each side, one person will be constructing, and the west side, another person, and one more person will be carrying bricks, another person will be mixing the cement and all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
like that, this particular job will be allocating accordingly, depending on the number of people allocated. And then they'll do their job clearly and then finish it off. So this is the construction perspective, I tell you. But in T24 perspective, let me explain it in a clear way. So we have a particular job that has to be done. So that might be single-threaded or multi-threaded. If in case if it's a multi-threaded one, which means
Mm-hmm.
many people can do that particular job at a time. So here what we will do, multi-threaded job. For this job, we will create a batch. This is common for all the services, not only
Mm-hmm.
for the cup, but yeah, we will create a batch here. That batch will have a service. So in this service, we have this uh, TS workload profile, nothing but how many people can do this job, how many agents can be allocated during this particular job will be
Okay.
defined, and it will pick it up. So in case here 3 agents will be doing this particular job,
Mm-hmm.
and each agent, what that particular agent is doing is monitored through the job list.
Can we
Job list is nothing
sorry,
but
sorry, Rakesh. Can we control the number of agents when the COB is running?
yes. Here, it is our workload profile.
Mm-hmm.
Through this, we can control. We can increase or decrease the number of agents. But how long means what's the maximum amount we can increase? That will be defined in another application, TSA parameter. Their maximum number of agents will be defined. Beyond that, we cannot specify. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to match that or define below that. So those people will be doing, those agents will be taking care of this particular job which we are allocating.
Okay.
And then each agent will have this job list that reading or writing, all those things, whatever it's doing, number of records and key lists or everything will be, it will be containing. So how
Okay.
we monitor this complete activity is through this one. So we'll trace it back from the job level, means batch level, batches
Mm.
which are running, which batch it is running, what job it contains, in that job, which agent it's running,
Okay.
and in that agent, what's the job list, what it is doing, and the entry of the COMO file, what all the activities it's being done. So in
Okay.
a straightforward way, TSA status, their agent status, we will get to know each person or each agent what he's doing or what it
Mm.
is doing. Clearly, we will be able to get it through. So that's the traditional way we will be monitoring this COB. So COB is nothing but combination of this multiple batches. Like I said, each batch will have their own stage, all those things. This just a root level diagram.
Mm-hmm.
COB is nothing but combination of this multiple, like hundreds of jobs like that in a sequential way. So only one job will be running at a time. So
Mm-hmm.
we can track easily which one is running, what is happening in that, whether it's stuck, where it's stuck, what is happening. Inside that, we have this COMO file name, and inside a COMO, we have what is happening. But this is on a
Mm-hmm.
high level only.
Yeah.
Clear details we won't be able to know. no, this job is running what it's doing. That's it. Will be given. Inside that, what
Okay.
it's doing. That's I'll let you know in the next slides.
Okay.
But this can be run in two modes. One is a servlet mode. This is the most preferred way. In the browser, we'll run this COB. So it won't trigger additional memory issues or anything like that. It won't write many things. So this is a traditional or possible way we'll have to run. And enqueue cob.progress will let you know how many jobs are completed, how many are
Mm-hmm.
existing, total, how many are there, all those things. And like I said, yeah, we have this Dynatrace fastback services. I'll let you know on that. But here, if we configure everything clearly, we will be able to
Yeah.
know inside this agent what is being
Okay.
done. I'll let you know on that as well. And the classic mode will be running through the backend, but
Mm-hmm.
that triggers a lot of other activities, and memory will be full most of the times. This is not
Mm-hmm.
recommended. Only recommended if we want to debug something, some of the routines and check.
So I
And
guess a lot of things can go wrong in the COB. So Rakesh, how we are monitoring and discovering the errors during COB?
yeah, the root level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, this particular job is executing. We will go to that job and check what is being done. Here, what we categorize is through this local or coroutine technical
Mm-hmm.
changes, which means whether it's the local one which is written by the bank or it's a core one provided by the terminals. In
Mm-hmm.
case if it is a local one, we can easily debug and check what's happening. But in case if it's a core one, there we'll find difficulties in finding what is happening.
Okay.
For that, we have around Dynatrace fast pack services. What it does, it's simply I can say a miracle. You can see what is being done in that particular core job as well, core
Mm.
routine as well.
Wow.
Selection, waiting, reading or writing, mostly reading, writing, internal changes. Those things will be done in any of the known routines in the T24. Select, read, and write. Either it will fetch data from one application, write it into another or same application after modifying it. So that's the main things are happening. We'll easily get to know in depth through
Mm.
our fastback services. So this core routine, some core routine is calling another core routine. That core routine is performing few things. Some selections are taking more time. After that, executions are taking more time. So this connectivity will be clearly established by our Dynatrace. That we'll have to configure. It won't be coming by default.
Mm-hmm.
Through the DVS AI, we will get the code level insights, and we'll get to know whether it's local or core changes. That's the first part. And then
Mm-hmm.
in case if we want to change some parameters, so the selection criteria, if you want to change in some of the applications, if you want to select directly the concat files,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want to select a file, by default, we can place it in one particular folder and fetch it from there rather than
Yeah.
going to application and selecting it. So that possible things can be done in functional and environment. So this is place where it gets much trickier. This
Mm-hmm.
agent is doing his job. This the particular person is doing his job properly, and even in the job there is no problem. It is being executed as per the code or functionality defined, but the place where it's being done is not proper.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the environment changes comes into place. Maybe CPU, memory, or some other configuration. Sometimes the queue, additional queues we'll have to
Mm-hmm.
define all those things. So in construction, everyone are doing their job, suddenly rain or heat wave, something appears. So what can they do? So that's the environment
Wow.
challenges which we face. So it's nothing to do with the agent and nothing to do with the job. It has to do with some other things. So we
Yeah.
will categorize them, identify them, analyze them, what is happening. That's what we can do through Dynatrace.
Nice. So yeah, I guess we'll have a lot of, insights, what is going on. So in the, I have a thing on my mind. So how will fine tune that SEOB? Because you have,
Okay.
you have good monitoring, that's for sure. How you fine tune it?
Okay. First is, yeah, we'll analyze and categorize it in this part
Mm-hmm.
where it fits, technical, functional, and environment where it fits. And then after that, once we get to know the exact reason of what is happening,
Mm-hmm.
then we can easily find out the solution.
Okay.
Just an example. we deployed any of the local routine, and that routine components are not fully deployed and it is causing the issue, that we'll get to know to some extent in this status
Mm-hmm.
file, and much more extent through this dyno trace. There, this is an example, and even I have done it sometimes, where I go to that local routine in case if it can be configurable, we'll do it accordingly and change it. So depending on the category, we'll take a decision on what needs to be done. And yeah, so this just an example of single screen T24 monitoring through the dyno trace. We'll get to know clearly COP duration, when it got started, what's the end time, what's time it took clearly, and the batches, all the stages of batches like application stage, start time, end time, how long it took, everything will be reported in the single screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's multiple screenshots, but in the single dashboard, it will be reported. And from here on what stages it's going on like this, and everything will be reported at all the stages. Apart from that, we will be able to know the running services. So what services are running in that particular, mostly during at a particular time, only one service will be running during the curve. And what service is it? How long it took for last previous days? So here, if we check these days, it took more time, but here it started decreasing after
Mm-hmm.
fine tuning or something like that.
Yeah.
And then inside that, like I said, TSS status, it will have this particular last message, last contact, Como file name, and everything. We will be able to go to that particular file name and see what is happening. And we have few more things like job dot times and report dot times that this all will go and execute there and
Mm-hmm.
check, but we'll bring everything in a single screen. And one more beauty of it is we can further drill into this particular service and then see what it did last day or previous days, what it did for a few days clearly, how long it took for selection, how long it took for execution, how much time did it spend in the environment related queues or something, and if there is any latency issue or memory or CPU issue during this particular service, everything will be reported. So this becomes easy for anyone to check what is happening in a single screen and decide what could be the issue most of the times.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a
yeah,
power.
same.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then think, yeah, this job dot times and report dot times also the same thing. We will be able to uh, execute and get that in the T24, but they are already available. How long this job took during uh, each day, we can easily track if there is any variation. We can easily find out why it differed, and the services which got introduced or which was running for the long time, we can easily find out through
Okay.
this. And it's a straightforward way.
Yeah,
I think,
that's
yeah,
nice.
that.
Yeah, that's nice visibility of that, whatever is going on during the COB. So I think it is very nice stuff. Okay, yeah, I think Rakesh, thank you so much. That was great explanation. We have a couple of questions from the audience, so we can take them right now. I have one question. How do parameterization in T24 optimizes in the COB? If you could explain it with the example, will be great. This is one question from Jupiter.
Okay, parameterization. Can you please repeat that again?
How do parameterization in T24 optimizes the COB?
Okay, so this parameters, for example, the functional changes and also the new template creations which we are going, we'll have to handle it in an easier way, and we'll have to define all the rules properly. For example, I'll tell you reserve field, including the reserve fields during creation of a new template can be used, the same reserve fields can be used anytime during the next, if you want to add any fields, and then define the fields accordingly. In case if we forget to do this particular reserve fields, what happens if we add another field, the existing fields data go into that particular one.
Hmm.
So there will be data corruption. That's the first part. And parameterization about the functional changes which we do. It's a simple and easy way forward for any of the uh, application. For example, like I said, we were selecting some of the mm, applications directly, AA applications, but there are concat files where it stores the same data. We can go directly and then fetch that and then come back. So it will save a lot of time during this parameter changes in the T24. So it's almost, if it takes 5 to 10 minutes for selection, in direct selection of concat files might take 30 seconds, something like that.
Okay, cool. Jupiter, let me know if that answers your question. So that would be good to know. I will read you another one. In large volume environments, how do you approach performance tuning during COB in Temenos T24? Are they specific routines, services, or batch design patterns that typically become bottlenecks?
Okay, the large organizations, what we'll have to do, we have this another example I'm telling you, this performance health monitoring tool. We can adapt that and opt all them. By default, the model bank comes with the default settings of all the parameters functional. But what Temenos will suggest is this additional settings specific to the application where we can change it accordingly. They'll provide a guide and help text everything to check. But that if we implement, that will reduce most of the selection and execution times. That's the first part. And the second part, what we can do is the traditional monitoring won't work, to be frank, in a lot of
Hmm.
organizations. We'll have to drill down in the Dynatrace, but we are using this Dynatrace. In the each application, we can go through what is happening. In the interface also, we can go through what is happening clearly. We can make the necessary changes in the environment and then proceed ahead.
Cool. Okay. I have, because the times is running out, so maybe we'll answer the last question, and you can tell us something about the tips and tricks after it. So I have the last question. What criteria or metrics do you use to define the maximum number of agents a system can support for COB?
Okay, the criteria is simple. I will have to monitor the CPU first. It shouldn't cross 70 to 80%. It shouldn't cross. That's the first part. Beyond that, what happens? Uh, the performing jobs will get hanging issue or something like that. That's the first part we'll consider. And
Mm-hmm.
then there is a formula to calculate how many maximum number of agents can be allocated, but that doesn't help most of the times. And second thing is we'll have to completely monitor memory as well, whether the memory is increasing, uh, if we allocate more number of agents and everything. Also, we'll have to check what other uh, services are running in that particular uh, system. That we'll have to minimize and then we'll have to decide. But in a TSA workload profile, we can define the number of agents, but that has to be optimal. The optimal number of agents has to be found out only during the COB. During the first COB, we'll be able to find out which job requires more number of agents. In between, also, we can increase or
Mm-hmm.
decrease during that.
Great. Okay, so right now, Rakesh will tell us something about the tips and tricks for COB. But if you would like to receive that tips and tricks in PDF format, please put your name in the chat, and after the webinar, we'll be sending you, this PDF formats with tips and tricks. But maybe in general, you have Rakesh only 1 minute, so you can tell us something about the tips and tricks.
Okay, main thing is don't touch the inputter user. Mostly inputter will be configured during the COB. So in case if you want to reset the password in the backend, the whole COB might get stuck during that stage. And some other inputs, like we can opt direct concat files reading rather than choosing the applications. That's the another part. And then we can also read this file through means records through the file. And few of the parameters can be run independently, like DW export can be run independently, also incremental manners. And some parameter changes in account statement or something like that can impact huge application running times and all those things. It's always good to know what are all the core jobs which are being impacted, what can be done in those easily. Yeah, through the monitoring tool, we'll be able to know what core jobs are taking more time and what is happening inside it. Then that should be corrected. Mostly core jobs like this statement entry, all those things will have a lot of times that there are a lot of Temenos suggestions. We are partnered with Temenos as well as the Dynatrace, so we will be able to assist those easily in case if you want to analyze further on this.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think we run out of the time. So yeah, that was our first session. So see you in the next month when we continue, these sessions on the monthly basis. So Rakesh, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I think we'll wrap it up right now. Thank you for your attendance, for your questions, and yes, whoever put us his email in the chat, he will receive the tips and tricks in the PDF format. Thank you so much for dialing in, and I wish you a great day.